When we open up our Bibles to Genesis chapter 15 and read of Abraham's story, we see amazingly how God speaks of Abraham in scripture, and it says, Abraham believed in God and it was counted to him as righteousness. Come on, isn't that awesome that the scripture speaks so highly of Abraham? But you look a few chapters later in Genesis chapter 17 and read from verses 15 onwards. Now we see what happens here. It says, Then God said to Abraham, As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. Verse 16, and I will bless her and also give you a son by her. Then I will bless her and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be from her. In verse 17, look at the response of Abraham. Then Abraham fell on his face. Till now it's okay, he fell on his face. It looks like he's about to worship. But see what happens there. But Abraham fell on his face and laughed. Come on, God spoke a promise. God reaffirmed, come on, I'm going to bless you through Sarah. I'm going to give you your descendants. That nation is going to come through Sarah. God is speaking a promise over him. A few chapters prior, God is saying he is counted righteous because he believes. A few chapters later, Abraham is wavering in his faith. It says there, he laughed. Look at what his reaction was. He laughed and said in his heart, now he's speaking to himself, shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? That means it's impossible, God. A few chapters before, he believed. A few chapters later, come on, he's going through his time of doubt. And then he says in verse 18, it says, and Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. That means, God, I don't think it's going to happen to Sarah. It's not going to happen to me now. Ishmael is enough, God. Come on. Abraham is going through his struggles with his faith, but yet God speaks highly of him. Come on, in our walk with God, we may have our highs, we may have our lows, but God knows our heart, and we need to keep pressing on. God ministered to Abraham. God stirred Abraham's heart. Abraham expressed his doubt, his anxiety, but he turned back to God and again believed what God said. Though at times your faith may waver, never leave the hand of the Lord. Never lose sight of the Lord. Always stir yourself up with the word that God has spoken, because God will definitely do what he has spoken. He will perform what he has said. Abraham wavered. He had his struggles. Isn't that amazing that the Bible doesn't hide the weaknesses of great men and women? It also tells you and me that we may have our weakness, but we still need to hold on to God, still need to turn back to God, because God at the end is above everything and he will fulfill what he has spoken. Come on, don't let that doubt that you are going through, it's normal, it's natural for you to go through that doubt, but you need to stir up your faith, stir up that word that God has spoken, and keep pressing on. Keep believing when the circumstance tells you no. Keep holding on to God's yes, because God then later says in verse 19, then God said, no, Sarah, your wife, Sarah shall bring forth that promise. No, you are looking at a standby, you are looking at another situation, you are looking for an alternative. No, my word is going to come to pass. That's what God is speaking to you and saying, no, my word that I have spoken will come to pass. So though you're wavering in your faith, keep holding on. God will bring it to pass. God bless you.